Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between tall green mountains, there lived a boy named Leo. Leo was not like the other children. While they loved to play outside and run around the fields, Leo loved to sit quietly with his paints and brushes, creating pictures of magical lands and colorful creatures. Every morning, Leo would carry his little wooden box filled with paints to a hilltop near the village. There, under the big blue sky, he would paint for hours. He painted giant castles floating on clouds, forests where the trees whispered secrets, and oceans that sparkled like diamonds. But there was one thing Leo had never painted: a rainbow. He had seen rainbows in storybooks and heard villagers talk about them, but he had never seen a real one. In the village, it rarely rained, and the sky was almost always clear. Leo longed to see a rainbow more than anything else. One evening, after a particularly hot day, dark clouds gathered above the village. Thunder rumbled, and rain began to fall. Everyone ran inside their houses. Leo, however, ran up the hill with his paint box. He had a feeling that tonight was special. He reached the top, opened his box, and waited. The rain washed the dust from the fields, the trees drank deeply, and the earth smelled fresh and new. Then, as the last drops of rain fell, the sun broke through the clouds, and right before Leo's eyes, a beautiful rainbow stretched across the sky. Leo gasped. The colors were brighter and more wonderful than he had ever imagined. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, each shade seemed to sing its own song. Eagerly, Leo began to paint. He mixed his colors carefully, trying to match each shade exactly. But no matter how hard he tried, the colors didn't seem quite right. His red was too dark, his yellow too pale, his blue too dull. Frustrated, Leo dropped his brush. I'll never be able to paint a rainbow as beautiful as the real one, he whispered sadly. Just then, a soft voice spoke. Why are you sad, little one? Leo turned and saw a woman standing there. She wore a dress made of mist and light, and her hair shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. I wanted to paint the rainbow, Leo said, but it's too beautiful. I can't capture it. The woman smiled gently. A rainbow's arena meant to be captured, she said. They are meant to inspire. They remind people that beauty can come after a storm. Leo listened carefully. But, she continued, if you truly wish to paint a rainbow, you must paint not just with your colors, but with your heart. My heart? Leo asked, confused. Yes, she said. Paint the feelings you have when you see the rainbow, the wonder, the hope, the happiness. That is the true rainbow. Then, just as suddenly as she appeared, the woman vanished into the mist. Leo looked at his paints, then at the fading rainbow. He closed his eyes and thought about how he felt, the joy of the colors, the magic of the moment, the promise of new beginnings. He picked up his brush and began to paint, not worrying if the colors were perfect. When he finished, he looked at his painting and smiled. It wasn't exactly like the rainbow in the sky, but it was even more beautiful. It was full of life and light and dreams. From that day on, people from nearby villages came to see Leo's paintings. They said his paintings made them feel as if they could touch the sky, dance with the stars, and find hope after every storm. And every time it rained, Leo would run up the hill, paintbrush in hand, ready to paint not just what he saw, but what he felt. The boy who painted the rainbow had learned the secret: true beauty comes from the heart.